Hello everyone and welcome to the second video. As I promised you on the first video, I'm doing the second video of this series, and this video is related to basic movement in VIM, in Vim. Um, I will not go through advanced topics because I don't want you to be scared. As I said in the first video, I will only go through simple things, simple movements. Let's be even more fancy and let's do it like Matrix, right? Let's go. So how to move on Vim? The basic thing to move on Vim, we have two types of single movements that we can follow. It's really the single movements as we do in the editor. We can use the arrow keys, or we can be even more fancy and forget about arrow keys and use the H, the J, the K, and L. Alright? So the H goes to the left, the J goes down, the K goes up, and L goes to the right. So I personally use the second approach. I'll be honest with you, was difficult to get in there on the beginning, because it's really like it's not a pattern. Like H doesn't mean left, L doesn't mean right, but after 1 week too, you get used to it. And in the next slide, I have the explanation why you should use the second approach. So basically, there are a couple of reasons. Personal option. You can like it more using the arrow keys, or you can even like to use the second approach, which is H, J, Q, and L. Use the smallest keyboard in the market. I saw one guy that works on Netflix and streams on Twitch, and he basically uses a 30% keyboard. It doesn't have like a lot of keys. It has like the less keys that you can see in the market. It's really strange, but you can do it with the second approach. You can do it perfectly, do it, and you can easily perform advanced combos. So it's more easier. I'll show you in the next slides, like forward two letters, or yeah, forward two letters to the right. So to forward two letters to the right, we can use 2L, and if you use the arrow keys, we need to use the two right arrow key. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if that works, if that combo works, making the two right arrow key. I guess that it works, but as I use the second approach, I never use the arrow keys for nothing. Basically, it's just my arrow keys are completely new, basically. So let's start with the horizontal movement commands. As all of the movements, like what we performed with HGKL, the only exception is for the arrow keys. If you are in insert mode, to move like back and forth and to go up and down, you can use the arrow keys, but doesn't apply to the second approach. If you are in insert mode, you can't use the second approach. That's like a drawback, but it makes sense because in the commands you can't type text, you execute commands. So if you are in the insert mode, if you press H, you will enter the H letter in the document. So makes some sense. So if you are in the insert mode and you really want to use the movement, you need to use the arrow keys. So as I said in the first video, Vim is all about of being less mouse dependent, alright? So you can do everything without the mouse in Vim, basically. There are a couple of options to do horizontal movement. I will, like I said in the beginning of the video, I will go really with the basic stuff, really. I don't want you to be scared, I'll go really with the basic stuff. What my advice for you is, like, I might share these slides, but if you write what the keys that I will show to you now, if you write it on the document, what they do, it's more easier for you to learn, I guess. So We can use the H key to forward the word, or we can use the B key to backward the word, right? With that, we can even forward, for example, 2 words at a time if we perform the following code. If we do 2W, which is a combo, it will forward 2 words at a time. The same applies for backward. If we do 2B, it will backward 2 words at a time. Note, and this is extremely important, a point, I don't know, a bracket, each symbol the Vim interprets like a word. So if we have like a point, it will be like a word. So instead of going 2 words to the right, which if we execute a 2W, it will go 1 word and it will stop on the point, because point is interpreted as a word. It's a note to keep in mind. We can also forward letters instead, and for that we can use the move keys, like 2L, it will forward 2 letters, and 2H, it will backward 2 letters, right? So we can use numbers to create combos. You remember, as I said, that we can do combos? Here it is. We are performing a basic combo. We can use numbers to make combos with the keys, with the commands that we already know. And these combos, you can find it, or even in the internet, or by trying yourself. So you already know how to enter Vim, how to exit Vim. You already know the Vim modes, so you don't need to be scared of experimenting, of trying it yourself, of learning new stuff. Just like, if you have not enough time, just take it 30 minutes per day and go to the Vim and explore. The last comment that I want to give to you, it's the $, which jumps to the end of the line, and the caret sign, which jumps to the beginning of the line. So this was the basic horizontal movement commands. Let's go to the vertical movement commands. So as we have horizontal, we also have vertical commands. We have the brackets. The left bracket means that we'll backward a block of code in vertical, and the right bracket means that we will forward a block of code in vertical. The way the text blocks of code is with break lines. So as you can see, these spaces right here, this space and this space, everything between these 2 spaces is a block of code. So if the cursor is here, if you execute the right bracket, it will go to the here, right? Then we also have the percentage sign, which will toggle the end or the beginning of a statement. So for example, right here, we have 2 brackets. Imagine that before this bracket, it's an if statement, and you have the cursor on this bracket, okay? If you execute the percent sign, it will go directly to this bracket. If you execute it again, it will go directly to this bracket. That's how it works. It finds the connection between brackets, or it can find between curly brackets, between round brackets, between a lot of stuff, and it detects where should it go. We can also hit ZZ, which will center the cursor to the center of the screen. It might be useful to use it, because if you have the cursor at the end, it's difficult to grasp where the cursor is. You can just hit ZZ and the cursor will go directly to the center of the screen. Even if you don't have more lines, if you are really on the end of the document, it will also go to the middle of the screen. I personally don't use it as much, but sometimes it can be useful. The last command that I want to give to you, probably is my favorite, is the GG, which go to the end of the screen, to the beginning of the screen, sorry, and the capital G, which goes to the end of the screen, not the screen, the file, in this case, the document. So GG jumps directly to the beginning of the file, and capital G jumps to the end of the file. The last two commands, it's not commands, it's like a shortcut that I want to introduce to you. I personally don't use it that much because I find myself using the bracket approach, but you can use Ctrl V and Ctrl U. I never understood if it's random amount of lines, but it basically jump an amount of lines up or down. If it's Ctrl U, U stands for up. If it's Ctrl down, Ctrl D, D stands for down. As I said, I personally don't find myself using it as much, but yeah, it's here. You can try it yourself and you can see if you like it or not. So these comments don't stop here. As I said, I'm just providing you with the basic ones. You can find some other ones over the internet. As I said, now you know how to open the Vim, how to quit it, how to save, how to insert, you know the modes. Don't be afraid of trying it. Just try it. Try. It's the way you learn it, it's with trying. Okay? Just try it. I will try to have a series of advanced stuff more later, but yeah, you learn it with trying basically, or with reading the documentation. You have that too, or going to the Stack Overflow and try to see if there are some movements there. It's up to you. Now, enough talking, and let's jump to the editor right now, okay? So, I have here the markdown of the presentation of the second video, and now let's try to do some stuff. So, as I said, L goes to the right, H goes to the left, L to the right, H to the left. Now, go up and down. K goes to up, J goes to down, J goes to down, K goes to height. Okay? Basic stuff. As I said, you can use the arrow keys. I'm using the arrow keys right now. It works also. However, if you just write something, you can't go left and you can't go right with the second approach. As I told you, you need to use the arrow keys. It's a drawback, but I think that in the end, you can execute easily the combos with the second approach. That I don't feel that much the necessity of using arrow keys. If I want to go left, if I have one mistake, if I want to go left, I just press escape key, go to normal mode, and then I go left, do whatever I want, and then I just enter again in the insert mode and add what I want. It's a minor drawback that you have, but it's how can I say, it's you'll get advantage later when you execute advanced combos, because it's more easier, believe me, it's more easier if you press the second approach key than the arrow keys. Okay, so what do you have next? Let's see what we have next. We have the W and the B. So I'm pressing the W. As you can see, it's going forward, and I'm pressing B, it's going backward. As I told you, punctuation signs or any special sign, any sign that you can find it, it's dealt as a word in Vim. So as you can see, the backticks there, if I press W, it's a word. If I press W again, it goes to the W. If I press W again, go to the backticks. So every sign is like a word. You see the comma here? If I press W, it's treated like a word. So yeah, that's one special note to keep in mind, because that's how Vim interprets the words, like punctuation, signs, everything is word. Now next, we have combos, and if I press, for example, 4W, it goes 4 words forward. I press again, forward. If I press 8P, goes when I was, because I pressed it 2 times the 4W, and 4 multiplied by 2, it's 8. So I press it 8 B, it goes backward 8 words, and it goes to the beginning of the file basically. Yeah, we can also forward letters. Yeah, we can also forward letters like this. If I press 2L, for example, if I press 2H, it forwards and backwards 2 letters. If I press 4, it goes in 4. Keep in mind that space or point or signs is treated like a letter, right? Now the last command, it's how you go so easily like a teleport to the end and to the beginning of the file. To go to the end, you press the $sign. You see, I'm on the end of the line. To go to the beginning of the line, we press the caret sign. So end of the line with the $sign, begin of the line with the caret sign. Okay, let's now move to the vertical movement commands. So as I said, you can use the curly brackets. Basically, these spaces that you see here are basically the delimiter of a block of code. So for example, if I'm on this space, if I want to go to the end of the block of code, I press the right curly bracket and I go to the other break line, and it goes down and up like this. It will always forward and backward by the break lines, basically. We also have the percentage sign. I don't know if I can show you here. Yes, it's working here. So imagine that you have a if statement. If you press the percent sign, it toggle the brackets. I can show you with the if statement actually. If true, so we have these brackets. If I press percentage, it toggles the brackets basically. So if it's on the left bracket, it goes to the right bracket basically. So let's move on. We also have the ZZ. As I said to you, I don't use that much, but it's good. It's a good option, and even if you are on the end of the file, it will center the cursor to the center of the screen, and I will prove that to you. I'm on the end of the file. There is no more line behind this. I will press 2 times Z. I'm on the center of the screen. It can be tricky. It can be good to use sometimes if you don't grasp the cursor. But yeah, it's a good option. The last one is my favorite one. We can go to the beginning of the file and to the end of the file easily. We can press 2 times G and it goes to the end, to the beginning of the file, and capital G it goes to the end of the file. So 2 times G goes to the beginning of the file, capital G goes to the end of the file. We also have another option. As I told you, I don't find myself using this option, but you can use it. As I told you again, I don't know if the amount of lines it's randomly or it has like a limit, but basically if you press Ctrl U, it goes an amount of lines up. If you press Ctrl D, it goes an amount of lines down. As I said, I don't know if it has like, if the amount of lines is random. I don't know how it processes it, but it's good that you know about it. And that's it. That's what I have for this video. It's basic movements. Just try it yourself. Just try it in GNOME. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed if you don't remember all of that stuff. Some things I don't even remember myself. I need to search about it. For example, this Ctrl D and Ctrl U, I knew that was a combination of keys that made that stuff, but I didn't remember which keys was, so I just found it on the internet to show it to you, to have good information for you. And yeah, that's basically it. If you like know that you use something on on your best editor, on your favorite editor. Just try to search it on Google if you can perform it with Vim. I am really sure that you can do it, like 99% sure that you can do it, that stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoy it. Just subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed to know when I will launch another video. I'm thinking what I will present in the next video. I'm not sure if it will be about windows and panes or if it will be like with more advanced commands like delete lines, copy lines, delete words. But basically it will be, I think that it will be the second option. It will be more advanced comments because it makes more sense. And I'll maybe make a last video talking about buffers, which stands for Windows, and the configuration of the Vim and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, subscribe to the channel, like it if you like it, and tell me on the comments what can I improve to make these videos better. And see you around. Thank you.